so much surrounded, it's so much at stake. And again, you look at now what he's going to be able to go and do, lead his team up there, absolutely phenomenal.
And knowing his dad personally, Chris, you know, not only did he have Louis, he had 4 boys.
Yeah.
That he was taking 1 to golf, he's taking 1 to boxing.
High achieving boys, yeah.
He's playing for Leeds, so he's driving across to Leeds back and forth, and everything you put into this guy. But this is why he's like he is. This is why his brothers are like they are. Absolute gentlemen, absolute warriors, and the fact this is his hometown club, and he's going to get the honour of, as captain, lifting this trophy. Like I say, I know him personally, I'm very biased, he's an unbelievable character, but this will mean so much to him, so much to his family, but also to the city to see one of their own lifting this trophy.
Very much so. Heartbreak there as well. Tommy Conway couldn't take part in this game. What a huge miss he was for Borough, but look at that. Louis Coyle talks about his father, of course, a father now himself, being able to share these magic moments with those nearest and dearest to him. To lead us through the trophy lift, please take it away, Gary Weaver.
Yes, thank you, David. Louis Coyle, an emotional Louis Coyle, as you can imagine. There's that Chris passing away back in 2022. Chris firmly in Louis' thoughts. These Hull City players walking up the walkway to the stars and taking this club back to the Premier League, as those from Middlesbrough watch on. But for Hull, they just kept surprising and surprising, and in the end the surprise was that it wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, look, I mean, if somebody would have said before a ball was kicked last August that Hull City would get in the top 6, I think we'd all be mind blown by that. And if somebody then would have said not only will they get in the top 6, they'll become the first 6th place team to win it for a very, very long time, I'm not sure many people would have truly believed it, but they've done it, and it's been a team effort, and they've deserved it. And when you think about, this is a talented Middlesbrough team. They did not have a shot on target in the whole game, in the biggest of big games this season. Credit to Hull for the game plan, for the application, because all of that conspired to get them to the Premier League.
Yeah, credit Jarrett Dublin as well, the sporting director, who helped pull this squad together. They had the transfer embargo. They went looking at experienced players, ready-made players to bring them in. Look at Regan Slater, £50,000. He's helped lead Hull to the riches, the prestige. And here's Louis Coyle, proudly wearing that captain's armband. Sergej Jekinovic, who's won titles in Croatia and Bosnia, who's managed in the Champions League. He is a fantastic personality, fantastic character, a man manager, a real man manager. Lets the coaches get on with the daily coaching. He oversees it all. He steps in when he has to. But he has really turned the lights on at Hull City again.
Yeah, credit to him. He will be forever etched into the history of Hull City. It's been a monumental effort from an unknown. It was a gamble, wasn't it, after the Tim Volter experiment went so badly wrong, but they got it right, you have to say, and I have to take credit for that.
Yeah, the Middlesbrough hierarchy, Steve Gibson, Neil Bowser shaking hands with the Hull City players. This is it, the moment that they've dreamt of, that they've run through their heads time after time. Louis Coyle again points to the sky in memory of his dad. A hug for the boss, and also from the owner to the boss. Acun Ilıcalı may not want to let him go. He's got a trophy to lift, Acun. Ollie McBurney, the goal-scoring hero, with the biggest goal of his life. He's played in the Premier League before, but to do this on this day at this place is huge. Hull City, from fearing the worst to now joining the best. Last season they just survived. This season they have thrived. And what seemed like the unthinkable is happening. Humble Hull City are going to walk amongst the giants of the English game again. An unprecedented season ends with an unlikely playoff winner. Unforgettable.
Yeah, congratulations to everybody connected with Hull City. Absolutely deserve this victory and they deserve to take their place in the Premier League. They will enjoy it, and so they should. They have been simply magnificent.
Hull City do not flinch in the playoffs. It's in the DNA. They are heading to the Premier League.
Well, the man there that's masterminded this whole insane journey for Hull City, Sergei Yakirovic, coming into the Championship. He talked about what a pleasure it was to be first and foremost in English football, and what a privilege it was to lead Hull City in this most testing of divisions, Gary Rowett. You know how tough the Championship is. How good a job has he done?
Absolutely incredible. To say that, you know, he's not familiar with the Championship, and then in his first season, really, to be able to mould a team that haven't spent vast amounts of money, haven't had the riches that some of the other teams have had, but it feels like he's created such a connection, not only to the fans, but to the players. You can just feel it and you can see it. The players love him. He looks like an honest guy. He looks like he'll give you everything. But I also say tactically, it's been a masterclass these playoffs. He's managed these games absolutely phenomenally well.
Well, Don Goodman was talking in commentary, Joby, wasn't he, about how well Gary's saying they managed the games. A bit the first one at the MKM, not really much to tell between the two sides. A bit of a non-event, if anything. And then they came alive in the second leg, and they've waited very, very late on in this one, but they kept going.
Yeah, and I'll throw in last game of the season as well, a game that they had to win to get into the playoffs. So, again, what he's been able to do, what I loved about him, for a manager who doesn't know English football, hasn't managed it, but he seems to have embraced those types of characters, the McBurneys, you know, John Egan's, that experience that's come in and really created, like Gary said, a togetherness, a team spirit. It's so much spoken about these days, about tactics and philosophy, and yes, they're important, but actually grinding through a season, having those people in your dressing room, having an understanding how to get through those tough moments and get through games like tonight. And from a tactical perspective, we felt they might suffer a bit too much today, but the discipline that they showed, again, that togetherness to dig through tough moments on a really, really hot day, knowing that a chance might come at some point, and that takes a lot of doing. It takes a lot of buy-in from that group of players. Clearly they were prepared to run every single inch for him today.
Well, the Hull City boss said before the game that he managed to get 70 tickets for this game. 6 of those, Curtis, were freebies. So money well spent. If they've come all the way from wherever they've come from, they're very happy.
Definitely money well spent. It's always money well spent when you come out of here with a win, definitely. But listen, spoke about him as a manager, spoke about him as a man. What a job this is, you know. Like I say, we keep saying it, but this side only just survived relegation last year, and then you couple that with the embargo, and again, through the embargo, you're integrating players that haven't been there that long, so you're trying to get the McBurneys, as you said, the Lundstroms and the Egans, as experienced as they are, trying to get them on board with, oh, we're going to try this. But they've done it, and it's kind of one of those change rooms when we speak about, again, Joby spoke about earlier, data and performance and all this kind of stuff. You can't beat sometimes characters in the dressing room that are going to self-police, that are going to lead that dressing room from in there, but then you've got that man at the top that, as calm as he is, he's also got the edge to him that you don't want to cross him. So he's got an unbelievable balance, and what a job. Like you did the interview, Krutz, where he just said he loved being in English football. He'll love it even more now he's in the Premier League.
Big credit as well to the owner. I think we've all stood here at certain times during his tenure. I think probably particularly when he let Liam go, who we all thought done a great job. And then to go and get a relatively, certainly to us, an unknown manager, but have that desire about him to maybe go and try something a little bit different. We see a lot of thinking in these divisions where it's the same old, but I think what he's brought with that freshness and new ideas, again, been a fantastic appointment, and you know, one that's really paid off.
An owner, Gary, is very, very important to a manager's success. As Joby says, they work their way through different managers. They're under an embargo, so they can't buy players. But the running costs of a football club in the Championship are pretty hefty, aren't they? And Ajun's put his money in, and today, my word, does he get that money back and then some?
Yeah, that's why I think it's really difficult to criticise any owner that's prepared to invest so much money for no guarantee of any real success, just through the passion of being at the club and wanting to get it to where they want to be. And of course, sometimes you have to make some difficult decisions, and not everyone's going to like those decisions. But what I would say is it looks like they've got a really good connection, the two. That is absolutely vital at any football club. To have that connection between manager or head coach and the owner, I think is absolutely perfect, and you can see it today.
Brexit today, it has paid off handsomely and then some, isn't it? Louis Coyle is going to make his way down as the Hull City skipper. And from our vantage point right here, pitch side, there is not a single empty seat in that Hull City end. Not one Tigers fan has even begun to think about the journey back up to East Yorkshire. My word, this place is going to be absolutely bouncing tonight.